All right, and we are here for this short video to go over the rites of war for the White Scars Legion for Horus Heresy. It's been a little bit since we've done the White Scars, so as we've done for all these other ones, we're going to start with a recap. If it's either been a while since you've listened to it, because it's been a while since we put it out, or if you just need a little bit of a refresher on them, we'll do that first. Then we'll get into the two rites of war. So, for the recap for the White Scars, these are the 5th Legion. The White Scars are what we usually think of as in terms of the fast-moving Legion. Their trait is that you get +1 to your move characteristics, and for the rolls to determine first turn and or seize the initiative, they can roll 2 dice and discard the lowest. So essentially, they get an extra shot at doing well in those. For their advanced reaction, if an enemy ends within 12 inches of you, you use their advanced reaction, and everyone within 12 inches of that enemy can make a move. So it plays perfectly into the fact that you are a fast legion. Everything else they have fits that. They have their own special land speeders and all. When we covered them, we said this was a legion that kind of feels like it doesn't necessarily fit so great out of the box because it wants the different types of units that aren't in. But we are going to go to the theoretical army that Dan says he starts with that none of us believe
Oh my
because no
God.
one has seen it. It doesn't count if no one's seen it, but the Chogorian Brotherhood.
Okay, I need to find a picture of it because I swear I had 60 of those Outrider. I sold it. 60 of those Outrider bikes. That's what funded my first Mechanicum army. I got rid of.
Berenstein or Berenstein Bears.
Yeah,
That's the world we live in right now.
I'm gonna find a picture, I swear, and you're gonna all be like, "Oh, he was right." But yeah, so
No, I still
Chogarian
won't.
Brotherhood.
I won't give you that satisfaction. Go ahead.
So Chogarian Brotherhood. This is probably this is gonna little side fact. This is probably the most expensive rite of war monetarily wise,
Hmm.
only because of what it does. So limitations. Any unit made up entirely of models with the infantry unit type and the detachment using this rite of war that does not begin played embarked on a model with the transport subtype, or any model with the vehicle unit type without either the transport or fast subtype must begin play in the reserve if the mission allows it. If the mission does not allow it, any units to be placed in reserve, then the unit is deployed as normal. Then a detachment using this rite of war may not include any heavy support or fortification choices. Nothing in the heavy support, unless those choices are entirely composed of models with a flyer subtype. What the hell is a heavy flyer?
Charybdis, I think.
Is that the no? And what about the? I always call it the U-shaped plane. The one that boards.
So that's the
Cases?
assault round?
Cases.
The
Yeah,
Saces, yeah. How do you say
is that one?
pronounce that?
That might be heavy sport, I think, as well. Okay, so the effects of this, and this is why I said it's monetarily insane, but it would look beautiful. Legion Skyhunter squadrons and Legion Outrider squadrons may be selected as troop choices, and if they're using in this rite of war, they gain the line subtype. So essentially, they are if they're troops, they can be selected as troops, and they can be if they're selected as troops, they're line. However, you can also take Skyhunter squadrons and Legion Outrider squads as elite choices, but they don't gain line if you get them as elites, only as troops. On top of that, all infantry using this rite of war gain the outflank special rule. It also means, by the way, that their dedicated transports get outflank as well.
So very very quickly, the other heavy support that is fire raptors are heavy.
Oh, but it's okay. That makes
Yeah,
sense. That
they have
makes
the flyer
sense.
subtype. Yeah, so you could take fire raptors and all.
All right. So basically, the idea of this rite of war, it's very simple. It is
Go
you
fast.
take bikes, you
Yeah.
take Outrider bikes, or you take Skyhunter Squadron bikes, and you take a lot of them. And the good thing, so for those who don't know Outrider bikes, they have tons of options. One of my favorite being the dual plasma on the side of the bikes. So you can absolutely use them to be anti-Terminator if you want, because they have two rapid fire plasmas essentially on the side of the bikes. Or you could take Skyhunter squadrons, which thank God in this edition they're 2 wounds. Jesus Christ! But these are very fast, flying. I think 16 inches. Hold on.
16, so 17 because you're white
Yeah,
scars.
exactly. So they're super fast. They can have heavy bolters. They can have Volkites. They can have multi meltas. I think they can even take plasma.
Yep. Plasma
Oh yeah,
cannons.
Yeah, plasma
yeah.
cannons.
So this is again monetarily wise, this is going to break the bank. Especially because Outriders are freaking expensive, and so are Sky Hunter squadrons. But if you have the money, or if if you have the money, this is like, I dare say this is probably the coolest army on the table by far. It's kind of hard to play because you got to know where to move. You got to know, very much like with the White Scars, you got to know where to move. You got to know where to apply pressure. But just this army is insane. And the cool thing is, if you have infantry inside a transport, they can outflank. So like, if the person wants to go to the side of the board and try to stop the outflanking unit from coming on, then by all means they can go ahead while your bikes just completely. And this also plays well with the advanced reaction as well. So if someone ends up within 12 inches of one squad, everyone within 12 inches of that trigger moves, and they move their bike speed or their jet bike speed, or sorry, jet bike speed. It's just
Yeah.
this is a really really cool rite of war. Sadly, I have only seen this twice. When I used to run it as a 40K/30K army, and our friend Manny, who is currently building a Chogorian brotherhood, I think has he bought any Outrider bikes, or was it just literally Sky Hunters?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
I can't remember what I think it was just Sky Hunters. No, he's got Outriders in there. Um, that is the only time I've seen someone run it. It's because it's expensive. This is, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but
No, it is.
I've seen
this
this
will.
used too.
Oh, have you?
Yes. And I will say this: you want to bring a Damocles Command Rhino, so you could get rerolls on those reserves. Because when you do have that infantry squad in outflank, and it doesn't show up turn 2, and it doesn't show up turn 3, you're gonna be really upset. You want a
The, the
Damocles.
the other part that would, like you said, makes this a little bit tough, expense wise, is it takes your two fast. It takes two of the fast units and moves them to other slots, which means now you can take other things in your fast attack because you're not really taking heavies unless you're taking like a flyer, which I mean that's its own giant cost attached as well. And the other fast attack currently, at the time of this recording, they're in what you would call 30K plastic. You can make some of these things from 40K kits and all, but in 30K plastic, there's no fast attack. Really for exactly as they've released.
Land speeders. You can buy the land speeders in 40K. You just have
Okay,
to
but
squeeze
that's why I
around
said, but in 30K
Oh
plastic,
yeah,
not 40K.
no,
Now
no, yeah,
40K are like, oh, I'm going to alter this guy. You're kind of lacking most of the options. You can
yeah.
make an argument
I
for
think
like
you're
Seeker's
lacking all the options technically.
Yeah,
Um,
which means you're going to Forge World if you're getting those right
yes.
now, and that means a premium automatically.
I
There's an
built a
argument for
3,000. So
Seekers because there's never been a Seeker kit. So any Bolter Marine could theoretically be a Seeker.
so
If it
Sure.
painted up fancy.
I did build a 3,000 point list just for funsies, because I do. This is a really cool, and I did cost it through Forge World. It is roughly a $5,000 to $6,000 army.
Yeah, no.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a no from me.
And by the way, I did it with mostly bikes. I did not do it with Sky Hunter squadrons, which would have made the cost go even.
Okay, those are the worst dollar to point model probably in the universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, the sad part about this is it is, I think, probably one of the coolest, and if played well, I dare say this is the strongest rite of war in the book. If played well, because
I
it
don't believe
pairs with
that.
no, because it pairs with the advanced reaction so well. Because you get someone within
You
12
get your advanced
inches.
reaction once.
I know, but once you come within 12 inches, or you do some zoomy extra movement, right? To get really close to me, everyone in that 12-inch bubble moves. I think a bike moves what, 12, so they move 13? Or does it move
14.
14? So
Bikes move
everyone, if
14.
it's a bike, moves 15 away. You literally can't charge me. Like
But
if I'm
you're
playing
making
against
assumptions there. You're assuming I want to do
true.
a bunch of charges. You're assuming I don't have units in spots where I'm okay with you moving because I've started covering the board. Like I would never want to say something is the strongest unless I've seen a bunch of things played.
True.
So,
But as someone who has played, like I said, so fun fact, this doesn't change. This didn't change from 1.0, and I
mm,
played in 1.0, and I didn't have the advanced reaction then, and it was exceptionally obnoxious. and they only had one wound then. Because again, the idea of moving so far, shooting plasma guns, and then they also used to have hit and run. I don't think
They
bikes
do.
have natural.
They still have it.
I know.
They still have hit and run. Oh my
Those units
god!
have it built in,
Oh god!
and that's
fucking
what's gross.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was going to say, oh yeah, this used to grant hit and run. That's gone now, so that hurts a little bit. No, they still
No, it's
fucking
on the
have
unit.
it. So, oh my Jesus Christ! Oh, but it's also $5,000 to $6,000, which brings me back down to earth.
Yeah.
Dan, you're making the Australians so jealous when you quote that number because they
Oh, I
also
put it.
use.
Oh,
They
I put it to
also use.
Australian numbers.
They
Oh no, because
also
someone
do
asked me.
dollars.
No, don't they do like no? Because it's like, isn't like $1 is
It's
a
still
ticket a
dollars, but
buck
they just have an
50?
even worse conversion rate.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say it's if it's $5,000, it's around 7,500 for Australian, and I don't even want. But that's just using the exchange rate.
No,
I
Dan.
know.
You have to
GW doesn't
include
do
the
exchange
spite
rate.
tax.
I know.
You left our glorious, global empire. Here's a tax.
So you know what's funny too, as you were saying that. So on average, I think I had 60 bikes in the 3K list, right? So that was 60 bikes, and they come in packs of 3, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to do the math, 60 divided by 3 is
20.
20. Wait, Outrider
Plus,
bikes are no.
you need an extra set for your character conversions. Don't forget.
Well, I was just doing the troops, just doing the troops. 3 Outrider bikes is $133.
But you still need the character conversion. So
No,
add in
I'm
one
just saying,
extra set.
just in troops, you are paying $2,600 in Australian money. I changed in Forge World. I changed to Australia.
Okay, yeah.
So $2,600, 2,660. So 27K or 2,700 just for the troops.
All right. It is expensive. Why don't we take a look at
Move on to the next one.
this next one? This next Rite of War.
Yeah, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation so bad, and I'm so sorry.
You're not. Come on, you got this.
All right. So next we have the Sagyar Mazan.
Sure.
We
don't know any better.
Anyone who knows better, I'm so sorry. But
anyone in the Mongolian
we have
region.
this Rite of War. The limitations: an army using this Rite of War, which any detachments using this Rite of War may not choose to place any units into reserve, and as such is unable to form a deep strike assault, subterranean assault, or flanking assault. You are starting on the board if you include this Rite of War. Period. No ifs, ands, buts, or exceptions. You're on the table. Next up, detachment with Rite of War may not include any heavy support units that are not composed entirely of infantry unit types, or any fortifications or primarchs, regardless of unit type. So your army's on the table, and the detachment does not get heavies unless they're infantry, so heavy support squads. What are the effects? Ebon Kashig cohorts may be taken as troops in this Rite of War. All units composed entirely of models of the infantry unit type must be given both the Karash and Feel No Pain rules, Feel No Pain 5-up special rules. I'll cover those in a moment. And any White Scar Karash unit in this detachment gain the Fearless special rule on the turn that they make a charge successfully. So just to cover Karash real fast. It's a fun little rule. It says, I believe I have to go to the Ebon Kashig to find it.
Page 180.
Ebon Kashig, Karash. No enemy player may ever score any victory points for the destruction of a unit with the special rule, regardless of the scenario played or any victory conditions in effect.
Oh my god. Wait.
You also can't join these units unless you also have this rule, but guess what? Everything in this detachment has it.
Wait. Every secondary in the game has either D3 or a victory point per kill.
So not necessarily. Some of them have it related to killing a warlord.
Which you won't
It's not like just killing units wholesale, but there is a mission that is killing units.
No, but usually there's a secondary that says, all right, take a victory point for each killed unit. That's a secondary in one of them. It's like it's the progressive scoring. And then another one is...
that's a mission in one of them. That's not a secondary.
No, it's a secondary one of them. It's
in any case,
go ahead.
They don't count as being dead.
Yeah,
it opens up a lot of secondaries and some primaries, so just being null points for your opponent.
I think it's War of Lies, by the way. I want to say it's War of Lies that does that. Yeah, but you don't even get
might be right
Warlord
on that.
kill. Jesus
The
Christ.
primary
Yeah.
for it is destroying units, not the secondary. It's the primary.
What's the one that said it's like every unit killed is a
There's
victory point? Oh,
there-
that's
no,
That's a
that's
primary.
not. That's maybe it's a primary. That's not
oh,
a secondary. That's 20 points for a secondary. The
man.
secondaries are usually killing more units than the enemy has,
Do I have the rulebook on my
Slay the
killing
card?
warlord
warlords.
and price of failure.
Yeah, the rulebook's in my card. Sadly, I can't figure. That's fine.
No, I'm looking at
And
the rules. I know
God.
what you said is not
the
true.
last one is having more surviving units, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
None of the secondaries award you points per model per like unit killed, unless it is you've killed more overall or a warlord. That's it.
If you want to be really mean, well, if you want to just be miserable, play into this with the Firing Rite of War.
Yeah.
Here's 27 free victory points. Have fun. But this Rite of War is so trolly.
It's also good.
It's
Everyone
amazing.
gets a 5-up.
It's amazing. And guess what?
Yeah.
This is all like the M. Kashyyyk style guys, so I have a feeling you could probably get away with doing an alternate scheme in black if you really don't want to paint white.
That's true.
Does the apothecary stack? No, hold on. Yeah, we did this already.
No,
So
Heart of the Legion stacks.
Part of the Legion
Apothecaries do
stacks.
not.
Apothecary does not.
So, but this if there are tactical squads on an objective, they get a feel no pain 4-up.
Yes.
They will because of the stacking. Yes.
They don't need an apothecary. Oh, that's Jesus. And now your Terminators get 5-up if you take out a Fracti.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yes. Everything.
An entire
all your
army
infantry get a
wide feel no
5
pain.
up, feel no pain. And you
That's-
keep your line if you're lined by default.
Yeah, they don't remove your line. Although,
And they get fearless when they charge.
I was just gonna say they don't. So I was gonna say, oh man, they get fearless. They can't do shrouded. No, they get fearless on the charge.
Yup.
Huh?
Which means they could take it in the shooting phase when they get shot.
That's.
Yep.
I like this Rite of War. This is nasty.
But honestly, because there's going to be a few cases where you need the shrouded because they're going to be doubling you out. But usually you'll be fine with what you have. It's for the missions that GW put in this book. So you just said the Chogorian Brotherhood might be the strongest one. This one might be because it directly counteracts the way you score several missions, whether it's just a secondary or for a couple of them, the primary is related to, points per destroyed unit, or pick a few types of units. When you destroy them, you get some points. This negates several missions for your opponent to actually try and win the game. It's honestly as strong as it is. It is probably nasty or theoretically unfun to play. If you randomly roll a mission,
if you're a good person, you will take some transports for your units.
Yeah.
That way they have something to kill.
Yeah. Or even it's related to your infantry. If you take things like contemptors, none of those count or anything else. So, because otherwise, if you have a pure infantry army and you happen to roll the wrong mission, you've won.
Just shake hands.
Yeah, you can't. You could only theoretically lose if there's probably ways if you kill nothing of theirs, they kill a bunch of yours, either table you or kill a bunch so they have more units left at the end and they get the single victory point for a secondary on that or something stupid. But you're probably not losing and you're most likely winning. That is both cool and gross.
Yeah. Wow.
Now I see why I wouldn't let Dan do it, and I took it in a heartbeat. We were divvying
That's
these
true.
up.
Yep.
This is
That's all right. Dan was too in
something
love with
else.
his bikes anyway.
Very true.
All
Also
right.
true.
I think that does it for the White Scars.